Understanding page views. We are now on page 11, page views. Now these page view options are very important to help you work with a project, depending on the complexity on what you have in a project. This very basic design that we can see here consists of any three objects: an oval at the top, an oval at the bottom, and this rectangle. But of course, it all looks a bit more complicated, doesn't it? If we are going to simple wireframe mode, set to view and simple wireframe mode, we can now see the basic elements. No colors, no outlines, no fills, prescript fills, etc. Just the basic elements. Now when you start to work with complex designs, you'll ultimately find that being able to go down wireframe mode is fairly important, because the less you find the start in the end point, in this case, of a blend. So I am actually blending from that oval to this oval, and I will actually show you that in a moment, but I can see the basic elements and I can get to them and I can actually edit them. Now wireframe mode. If I go up to the next one, that now has allowed me to see all of the lines that exist. So there are intermediate steps in that blend, but still no colors, no outline colors, no fills, etc., etc. Draft mode. If I go to draft mode, I now have a basic concept of the color and a basic idea of the look. There is now fountain fills, a postscript fills. You can see this one block cover at the bottom there. Well, this can be helpful if you're dealing with a very complex image, but really, in reality, it's a little bit of the leftover from the days of slower computers, and I would not be surprised if, in the future, we see a couple of these modes disappear. But it is handy in terms of speeding up your design process if it's very complicated. Again, normal mode is the next step up, so go to view in the normal mode. So now we are starting to see some more postscript fills. You can see the outlines and not see crispy clear, but at least I'm getting a better idea of what it looks like. Bitmaps would basically display a very low resolution, but again, it will help you speed up the re-rendering of your screen if it's a very, very complex or very large image. Enhanced mode. Let's go to enhanced mode. Enhanced mode is the one that you will mostly work whether it doesn't look the best. Everything is crispy and shopping, and it anti-analysis your bitmaps, and you really do see a very nice look. So this is the mode you will mostly work at, and it is the default mode. New to X6 is pixel mode. Now let's go to pixel mode. You will notice the picture didn't really change in its look until we begin to zoom in. So I will zoom in right in here. We are starting to see at the pixel level. In other words, we can see what a vector image would look like as a bitmap. Now see, what we have is a nice solid blue, and as it moves out, the blue slowly fading out to white. That's what we call initializing, and it can be very handy, particularly for designs that you are doing for the web, etc., to see how your images are going to look as a bitmap. Probably the more you would choose to do a final check before you send it to a printer or whatever. F4 zoom back out. Now, F9 is a preview mode. So for example, if you were in wireframe mode, or what are these other modes, and you press F9, you would see a premium display, full screen of what your design looks like. No, I can't do that. I am working on double monitors that comes up on a wrong monitor, etc. So yes, please do that experiment with that as you run through this. And finally, Shift plus F9 are very, 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 can I stress that enough, handy shortcuts. Let me show you. Oftentimes you want to go to simple wireframe mode, and then of course you want to go back to your premium mode. So I will go back to enhance mode, and I will Shift and F9. Remember those last two things. So Shift F9 on my keyboard takes me back to wireframe. Shift F9 again, back to enhance. So you can see the advantage in toggling between those two. Well, basically, if I go now back to Auto, Shift F9, I can take that little circle instead, stretch it out like that, play with it a little bit, Shift F9 again, and as you can see, it changes the look of my design. This is a blend. Please do play with this a little. Have some fun, just stretching around and coming up also in different shapes and designs, and surely you will learn how I did that and how that actually works. So please jump in, try review mode, and certainly try the keyboard shortcuts and have a play. Have some fun.